Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. I hope you enjoyed the new intro we have for the show. I seem to have more than one playing in the background somehow, but anyway, nonetheless. Oh boy, why do we have a double? There we go. Anyway, I think I fixed that. So that was another platform that was playing at the same time. So that's what happened. So anyway, without further ado, I'd like to bring to the foreground here Ileana, who is a Reiki crystal healer, and she's going to tell us about healing with crystals. Welcome. How are
Thank you,
you?
Gail. It's nice to be here.
No, I'm happy to have you, and I'm sure the listening audience as well as myself are very interested in what you can tell us about crystal healing. I mean, I know general things about crystals, but I haven't ever really thought of it about from really a healing standpoint and how that works and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, so I've been working with crystals since 2011. I had stuff going on with my own body. I felt like I had galactic energy in my body that was huge, and my body wasn't sustaining this energy source inside me. So it was too much energy in this small little body. So I wanted to ground myself and just be able to feel like this body can handle the energies that I have within me and the frequencies coming from the galactic source, the planet. So I started working with rose quartz for grounding and healing the heart because it's good for heart energy. It's really good for just being your genuine self, reconnecting with the soul aspect. So that's the first thing, rose quartz. And I had these smooth palm stones and rough rose quartz. Then I worked with clear quartz and I worked with amethyst to ground the rest of the body. And from there, I ended up in inner earth seeing the big crystals in the cavern systems.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they're healing centers, they're healing rooms. I ended up in there as well and just communing with the crystals. It was just an eye opening experience for me. And that took me down on the healing path of actually using crystals for body grids to use various types, double terminated, single terminated, putting them around the body and connecting them with a wand, crystal wand, to balance the energy within the body and the soul. And I
Oh
learned
wow.
about the metaphysical properties of crystals and healing properties. And I had ended up spending 4 years writing a book, Crystal Grids, the Art of Healing with Crystals, which
I
is a,
mentioned that.
yeah, it's on Amazon. It's a paper, it's like a huge paperback book that does not look like a paperback. It has the quality of a thick book, good print material from what people have told me.
Uh-huh.
So it was eye opening writing something like this because I was identifying the crystals, what they are for healing purposes, metaphysical properties, how you work with wands, how you work with pendulums, how you work with just the rough crystals, the smooth crystals. How can you use crystals with water to create crystal elixirs? Because you can use
Oh
some
wow.
of them for that. So how you can use them for the body grids and crystal grids for manifestation, for creating success and happiness and goal setting in your life. How to actually manifest from above, the energy that comes from above to below, the physicality, the presence that we are here with the crystals and the words of power. How to work with staffs. I wrote another book about staffs and crystals and how to make wands. So I wrote several books and I wrote Crystal Compendium because there's so much knowledge and information about crystals. And I have amethyst crystals behind me. I have the crystal clusters, which I sometimes charge crystal jewelry on them because they really cleanse energy pretty good and they remove imbalance from the other jewelry from crystals. that I have and make sometimes.
Wow.
So it's really about finding out what crystals you want to work with, finding out which energies and vibrations from these crystals that you want in your home, in your life, and using them for manifestation, using them for a good balance of energy in your home and in your environment. So
Is it the frequency from the crystals, or is it or the resonance, or all of that?
So crystals have lattice matrices. Crystals grow in the earth. So they grow all over the planet within the earth. So it is a frequency and a resonance field that the lattice matrix within the crystal creates. And you can feel that outwardly when you touch the crystals, when you hold them in your hands. And sometimes they'll vibrate with your energy and sometimes they won't. Not every crystal is perfect for every person. You might not need a crystal that lowers your blood pressure, because lapis lazuli can lower your blood pressure too low. So for me, my blood pressure is low. It's naturally low. So I don't hold that in my hands. I can't even wear it because it will instantly lower my blood pressure. Mm-hmm. So I can't work with lapis lazuli because I bought a pendant wand and I could not wear it because it instantly lowered my blood pressure. So somebody who has high blood pressure, lapis lazuli would be perfect for them to wear as a bracelet or a pendant, to hold it in your hands. So that's just an example. I love black tourmaline. I put it around my house. I put it inside my home for protection and good energy and just a very spiritual grounding field. I love tourmalated crystals, tourmaline, double terminated points. Love it. I love tourmaline. I love clear quartz, amethyst, rose quartz. I love all kinds of crystals and the energies and vibration that I get from them. Yes, I am an author. Yeah.
Yes, they were wondering. They were trying to find your book on Amazon. I think they needed to know what how you authored yourself or the title.
Yeah, L-E-L and then space K-A, Elka. So that's my author name on Amazon. My public speaker name is Ileana, the Star Traveler. That's for public speaking, but Elka is the author name, yes. And the book is Crystal Grids, The Art of Healing with Crystals.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's, the book is interesting. It's huge. And I have another version of the book, How to Heal with Crystals and Crystal Grids. That's a lighter version of it. And I have the full version, which is Crystal Grids, The Art of Healing with Crystals, depending on what the people want. So I have two versions of the books on Amazon. Plus I have the crystal compendiums and stuff. So I've done a few book series on the crystals.
Okay. Somebody's asking if crystals can get rid of bad spirits.
Some crystals can, like black onyx, tourmaline, obsidian. They can help to ward off bad spirits so they don't enter your solar energy field in the first place. If you do get some type of bad spirits that have entered your soul field, that's soul possession, then you need energy healing to clear that out from the soul field. But if you wear these types of crystals, they can protect you from being infiltrated by bad entities or demons or satanic energy, or just energy from people themselves who hold negativity. Because negative energy can also play with our soul field and make us sick.
Yes, that's a big deal. Negativity.
Yeah, people who know how to play with energy, they can infuse bad energy into food, into clothing, into physical items that they give you, and that haunts your soul and makes you sick. So bad intentions, and if you program that into things, you can even program it into your crystals, unfortunately. And then your crystals need to be cleansed to remove that energy so you can work with the crystals again. Because crystals can hold positive energy or negative energy. Whatever you program into it, that's what the frequency field and intention it will hold.
So how do you do that? How do you program that into it?
So I take a crystal in my hands, right? I put it in my hand and I say, I set a positive intention for this crystal to cleanse itself and to purify itself energetically constantly, to keep a positive vibration field within the crystal, and the crystal is protected for healing purposes. That's one of the easiest little intention manifestations, and then the crystal will hold the positive energy that you have programmed into it with your energy intent and your words of power. So that's a quick, easy one to make sure the crystal is purified, that it only holds positive frequency and it cannot do anything bad. But then you can also program it with bad words and bad intentions, and it will cause you to get sick. You could do the opposite polarity.
Somebody's asking if you could tell them about Lemurian crystals.
Yeah, those are the pink ones. Those are usually long. They have points on them. Lemurian crystals come from different places on Earth. They come from Mount Shasta. They come from Arkansas. They come from different places. How you know it Lemurian is usually it has that triangle. They're the keeper crystals, so you can sort of see the Akashic records within the crystals. Sometimes Lemurian crystals are that. Sometimes they're just an energy vibration field. They're pink. You can tell that Lemurian, that it's a pink crystal. And it's naturally, that's how it naturally comes out of the earth. And it raises your vibrational energy quite a bit.
But does it look different than rose?
Yes, it has this deep pinkish color.
Deep
Rose quartz is, it's not always clear, but the Lemurian ones are pink and clear. You can see the inside of the crystal.
Okay. No, and I had somebody say something that the quartz crystal is probably the master healing crystal. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, Lemurian crystals are quartz crystals. Sometimes they come in different colors and shapes.
The clear quartz?
Yeah, clear quartz can take on any properties of color and different frequencies of crystals. So if that's the only thing you have in your pocket to work with, it's great, because you can infuse it with the property of another crystal because it's clear quartz. It's basically white.
Wow.
Yeah, so I use that as crystal wands quite a bit to connect the energies of all the crystals around the body for crystal body grid. So if that's the only thing you have, that's the most basic one, and it's very powerful.
Cool. That's fascinating. Well, the other thing that I was wondering is there a way that you activate the crystals?
The crystals are already themselves naturally activated because they have sentience energy. But if you want to program it to do a certain thing, you can activate it with words by the energy that you imbue within that crystal. And you can connect it with other crystals that are around it. So you activate it by your own intention, by your own words, your own thoughts as well. All of that can activate a crystal to do something for you or for someone else, to heal, to raise abundance, to create prosperity, to create balance, to create grounding in the soul. And different crystals do different things. So it's good to know the purpose of the crystal. It's good to know what the amethyst does, what the clear quartz does, what the rose quartz does. It's specific purposes, whether it's a healer crystal, whether it's a manifester crystal, whether it does something, helps to activate the third eye, psychic abilities, whether it helps you astral travel. Different crystals do different things. Herkimer diamonds they come deep within the earth. They're more rare, so they're smaller, and they look like triangular points usually. That's Herkimer diamonds. And sometimes Herkimer diamonds can be smaller or larger. It really depends on the quality of a Herkimer diamond, but they can be very expensive. They're rare within the earth.
Oh, wow. Okay. What about, do you like if you were to change the intention, even though it probably could be in the same realm, would you want to clear the crystal before you did that again?
Yes, you definitely, if you want to change the intent of the crystal frequency and energy, you definitely want to clear it. So you would say something like, I cleared the intention that I had set up for this crystal. If you had set up an intention to heal the spleen, to heal the liver, for example, you use the energy of that crystal for that. You say, I am now clearing the intention of healing the liver and the spleen of this crystal frequency vibration. I'm cleansing, clearing, purifying the previous intention, and I am canceling and deleting this intention. So the crystal is clean, purified, and now ready for a different intention, different purpose setting. So you would do something like that.
Oh, okay.
And that clears the previous intention. Those are ideas. Those are just my words, what I made on the top as I was going along.
I've heard of people putting it in salt water.
Oh, no, I don't put any of my crystals in salt water because it can leach out the crystal or even dissolve it. If you don't know the properties of the crystal, your crystal can just dissipate in the salt water. If it's a dissolvable crystal and it's a rough one that has texture and, that has holes, that's bad for those crystals. I never use salt water for crystals.
That's good to know. Okay.
I use basically water, just water.
Plain
for
water.
The smooth crystals, the ones that are polished palm stones. You can wash those, some of those. And then I just use bells. I use a metal bell to purify the energy of my crystals. I use Palo Santo or sage to cleanse the energy of the crystals. Or I put my crystals on amethyst clusters or rose quartz clusters to clean the energy of the crystals.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah, that's what I do. I don't put it in salt water.
Okay. Good to know. What about somebody's asking if there's a crystal that helps with dizziness and nausea?
There's a lot of different crystal types. You would need to read the various descriptions to figure out what would help with nausea and dizziness. Even just a clear quartz can help with that because it helps with everything.
Yeah. This isn't your
quartz.
book, but this is what it's backwards. That's how I look. If I don't know what it is,
I have that book too. That's a very good starter for the basic descriptions of crystals when you're starting to learn. That's a good one.
Good. That's good to know.
This is purely for crystal descriptions, healing and metaphysical. My book talks about the applications of crystals, what they are, how you use them with wands, with pendulums, with the healing elixirs, with the water, how you can purify your crystals with water and create the elixirs, plus the descriptions, metaphysical and healing. So this book is like an encyclopedia of everything you need to know about crystals and healing.
All encompassing.
Yes, all together. So you don't need to look at other books and sources because I want it to be all in one place.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Yeah, I haven't seen it. That's really nice. There's a new question here. Is it okay to build a grid just by intuition without knowledge? Could you please share basic grid information?
I always plan out my grids. I want to know the purpose of the crystals, the healing properties and the metaphysical properties of my crystals, what I will be using for my crystal grid. Sometimes I get intuitive ideas for a crystal grid, but I mostly do it by planning it out. I will plan it out and research it to see the purpose of what my intention is, why I'm doing the grid. If you just want to do healing, you can just use rose quartz, amethyst, and clear quartz, and you can put it in a circular grid around your body. That's a basic healing grid. If you're doing manifestation, then you need to pick and choose your crystals. Some people just use crystals to just put a circle grid and something in the middle. I also use symbols and sacred geometry, and I do research them because some symbols are positive and some symbols not so much. So you need to know what you're working with if you put some type of a symbol underneath it.
They also asked about using the singing bowls to cleanse crystals.
I use a bell. I use a metal bell because you can't hold a singing bowl up against the crystal, but I like to use the bell because the bell, you can ring it and you can work with it quickly, or tinctures. you could use singing bowls for it, but I use a metal bell or tinctures.
Is it a certain frequency, the bell? Or
It
doesn't matter?
mine doesn't have a certain frequency. I could feel
Okay.
its pure vibration. It's just a
Mhm.
metal Tibetan bell that is like
Oh.
the metal singing bowls. And I just go boom, boom. That's the sound it makes. Or ting, ting. With tinctures, I even remember the sounds. I like to work with something that I can lightly hold in my hand and just go above the crystal with the bell.
Oh, cool.
So and it's quick. It only takes like 2 to 5 minutes. Where I love singing bowls, but you have to hold it in your hand and you have to go boom.
True, true. I like them. I don't have any, but they are cool.
I have small
There's
ones.
there is another question here. I have heard that there are multiple purposes for crystals. One for holding information, the other to work the crystal. Can you explain that? Does that make sense?
Well, the ones that are for holding information, they have like this triangular diamond shaped point, like they have the facets around the crystal. Those are the Akashic records holding the information. So you want to be looking for that diamond point to clearly see that on the facets around the crystals. Those are your Akashic record crystals that hold information. And yes, there's multiple purposes for crystals. So it's good to do your research to figure out what crystals are best to work for you with. It's all about researching it to know metaphysical properties and healing properties. There's literally millions of different crystals, like millions.
Well, when you're using crystals and you either do a grid or your purpose is to heal somehow, how long does that take?
It can take me from 10 minutes to an hour, depending on the complexity of the grid that I'm creating. I have about 14 grids going behind me, behind the tapestries right now for different purposes. And it took me 4 years to figure out the exact grids that I wanted. I actually have the grids recipes in my book of all the crystal grids that I've ever created.
Wow.
Yeah, because I tell you how to set up the crystal grid, what's the purpose of it, what it's doing, whether that's for healing, manifestation, protection, house cleansing, working things out in the soul. I do a step-by-step how to create the grid, how to do manifestation with it, what it looks like, and how to set it up, and the crystals you need for it. So it's all in the book.
Wow. And have you been happy with the results that you get with the grids that you make and the intentions that you...
Yeah, I've been very happy. It's taken me years to figure out the specific formations that I wanted for the crystal grids and crystals. And I use sacred geometry symbology that I found on the internet and that I've hand drawn myself.
Oh, wow.
Like the flower of life, the Merkaba sphere, the Merkaba cube. I've used many different sacred geometry, the seed of life, different symbols in the sacred geometry as a base for the crystal grid. And then I put my crystals on top. What I like to do, I go a little step further. I get a glass frame, just a glass frame. You know what you use for diplomas and stuff without the wooden border with a clips. And I put a symbol under the glass frame. And then I put the crystals on top of it because the glass amplifies the energy of the crystals. And it gives you a foundation to set your crystals on so you can move it around. It's 8.5 by 11, just that glass frame. And it's very portable. You can put it anywhere you want.
So you take a glass, say you have an altar of crystals.
Mm-hmm.
They would be more effective or powerful if you took a piece of glass, set it down, and then set all the crystals in the little formation, whatever you have.
Yeah.
It makes it more powerful.
Yeah. And I like the fact that I have many frames. Like what I do, I could put a sacred geometry, like I could print out a piece of paper with the sacred geometry on it and put it in the frame, and then put the crystals on top on the glass. That creates my foundation, especially for manifestation, because symbols can help with manifestation. Symbols can be very healing. So I use different ones for different purposes.
That's interesting, because I know there's some guy that has, I forget who it is, but anyway, he has a deck of cards that have different symbols on them that are different for healing for different parts of the body.
His name is Brad.
Brad Johnson?
Brad Johnson, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Brad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does have a deck of healing cards. I have been using healing symbols on clothing.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've started my own healing clothing line on Teespring and Spreadshop. So I've been working on that, and it's very powerful. I have the Arcturian light activation to help with healing, psychic ability activation, and light languages.
Oh,
so
cool.
Yeah, and that's on my website under products.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. I missed that one.
It's very new. Yeah, it's very new.
We can actually share screen and look at your site if you would like to.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Let's see if I can do it. Somebody's talking about black tourmaline being good for EMF.
Yes, black tourmaline is very good for EMF, and the rose quartz as well.
Boy, and we got to worry about that. I mean, not worry about it, but we need to really be mindful of that. How's that?
Oh, EMF even comes from your computer, from your lights, light sources. When I worked in the public libraries, they had like lights hanging everywhere, fluorescence,
LEDs,
and it would LEDs, and that creates EMF. And the quality of those things, I was like, I would constantly just want to sit somewhere in the dark and escape that frequency.
It is bad. Yeah. You can even tell by, your coloring or looking at yourself under those lights. It's not good. Let me see if I can share the screen. So you can keep talking while I'll see if I can get that up.
Yeah. So I find the healing clothing is really good for protection as well, the Arcturian light activation symbols. And that was given to me when I was doing a healing session for a person privately. The Arcturians came in because they were helping with the healing. And they said, you need to share this with everybody else, because the clothing that is being created out there is so basic. So if you go under products like Arcturian light activation clothing, or healing and manifestation clothing and healing puzzles, that's that at the top, the very first one.
Oh, Arcturian. Oh, geez.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
It's okay. Let's see. Yeah, if you click on that, it should go. You need to click on it though. There you go. So those are the Arcturian activation symbols. That's on the clothing. And if you scroll down, if you click on, I have it on t-shirts, mugs, anything. If you click on that, it'll take you to the store. So if you just click on it.
I'm at the store, featured products.
Yeah. Just click. Yeah, you can click on it if you want, and it'll take you to the shop itself, so people can see the clothing if they want.
Oh, I see. This one.
Yeah.
This page?
So if you want to click on that, it'll go to the store itself, because all the pictures are linked.
Okay, let me see what you're seeing. Okay.
Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
good. These are just previews.
Mm-hmm.
But I designed it so you can actually click on the pictures and go to the store itself. Yeah. So it's like, interesting. Or the link is down underneath the images as well, to both stores.
Like here?
Yeah, at the bottom. At the bottom.
Oh, the bottom?
Yeah. Of the page. But this is kind of like a preview what's on Teespring and what's on Spreadshop.
Oh, okay. Teespring.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
They have that easy pay too, or afterpay they call it, where you can make several payments. So
yes, they do, thankfully, because this is custom clothing. Those are my own designs. They're energetic. So it took a few days to put this together. So if anybody ever wants to create their own spiritual or healing clothing, and they're an artist and they have their own kind of symbols that they want to put on clothing, t-shirts, mugs, anything. You can work with Teespring to do that in Spreadshop.
Oh, wow. That's nice to know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it's easy. It was easy to link to my website because you can create a print on demand shop within the Teespring network and just link it to your website and you're set to go. You can share healing stuff. It's fantastic.
Wow. So you have other symbols besides the Arcturian light.
Yes. Yeah. It's
So
if you scroll upward again
let
to
me go
the
back.
drop down menu. Yeah,
The
the top
products.
under
Okay.
products, I also have healing manifestation clothing. So if you
Oh,
click on
cool.
that one,
Let's check that one out. I
yeah,
have, this is the first time I'm seeing this. I haven't, gone through everything. So it's
yeah,
kind of fascinating.
yeah, and
The,
that's one of the success symbols, manifestation.
oh, wow.
Yeah, and healing. That's also healing as well. So if you scroll down, you can see that on the clothing.
Let's click on one.
Yeah, it should
I like
go.
this one here. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know. Or at the bottom, you can click on the link, and I'll take you to the store. Yeah.
Tracking. Oh, start designing now. No,
So.
that's for your own. I'm scrolling back up.
Yeah.
Discover designs.
Yeah. Well, it's a very interesting type of. It allows you freedom to design your own clothes and
That's
other
really cool.
accessories. Yeah. Yeah.
That is special. Now, also on your website, if we get back there, you can book a variety of different types of sessions. Do you still
Yes.
do all of that?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I am doing all of that. It has my schedule on there. It has the times and everything. So
Wow.
it's very rewarding to be able to do healing work, psychic work, and stuff like that. I
That's
also do
awesome.
courses. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I just hit on, because if someone wanted to learn more about the crystal grids or crystal wands or pendulums or crystal healing, it appears that you have courses on all of that.
I do. Yes, I teach that. Yeah.
So that's good for people to know.
Mm-hmm.
You also have something on cosmic history of galactic humans, volume 1 and 2.
Yes, yeah, those are 2 volumes going back how the universe was created, the different beings involved in the creation, then the physical planets, how that was happening and the species that live there from beginning all the way from creation to now, the history, the current history of us galactic humans on Earth and elsewhere on other planets.
Yes, your website. Somebody's asking what your website is. It's seeking the truth inr.wixsite.com.
Yeah, or you can just find it on a search browser, search engine, messages from a star traveler.
Oh, that's even easier.
Yeah, you just type in messages from a star traveler and it will pop up in the search results. It's very easy to find. Yeah, I was just when I was doing that healing session for the person, their Arcturians came in and said, you need to start using these healing symbols to help people do the healing clothing. Just do it because people need inspiration. And I've looked at other people's stuff and I'm like, this is unique to me. All the symbols and designs are my own. But this stuff could be inspiration for others to create their own healing symbols for their clothing and stuff for healing purposes. I think these things can be inspiring.
Would you want to use anything in particular in terms of like sacred geometry? That's what I'm trying to say. Or
The ones that I was using, they were all hand drawn by me. They were my own creative sacred geometry, but you could use something like the tree of life, the seed of life to put because that stuff is all on the internet, so you could use it for your clothing, and then you can add healing slogans like I heal thyself. I am healed. I am protected. I am loved. So you could put, because words hold power. So you could use the words with the sacred geometry. And that's what I did for the manifestation stuff and for the healing. I have t-shirts that say healing arthritis and the symbol for healing arthritis.
I saw that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So that one is one of the healing symbols, and I'm going to put others on there. So it's very powerful tools. Clothing and what's on clothing can be powerful healing tools. Puzzles, mugs. It can, if you're creating healing symbols, you can put it on anything, and it will have that meaning of healing.
Somebody said YouTube is blocking. I don't know what they're blocking.
I don't know either.
Oh, blocking the website as she spoke it. Oh, how do you like that? Isn't that nice of them?
Yeah, no, it's messages from a star traveler, or you can find it Seeking the Truth. It's all in the links below, so it's
I have it in the description, so you'll be able to find it. And if they are, it's temporary.
Yeah, whatever. I don't put significance and meaning into that. It's censorship, whatever. If somebody's meant to find it, they'll find it easily. It's like if it's called to somebody, they'll get it. Yeah, I don't either. I saw you showing the website, so it was up.
Yeah.
Well, it's just I find it so creative to be able to create healing things.
Oh, here's an interesting question. How about adding essential oils to the crystal?
If I'm using essential oils, I will put it in a little vial beside the crystal. I don't rub it on the crystal itself because it could be hard to wash it out. Oil tends to permeate the crystal. So I just usually have a little, what you can do if you're doing crystal massage, you use those specific egg crystals because they come in eggs, they come in spheres. So you can set aside certain crystal types with the shape for massage therapy. Then you can put oil, rub it in your hands, put it on somebody's back, feet, whatever, and use the crystal to do the massage. That's called crystal massage. So that's the best way to use essential oils in massage with the crystals. And then you can wash those crystals, and they're specifically for your crystal massage stuff. But I usually don't put on my crystal grids essential oils on the crystals. If I want some kind of essential oil, I will have it in a little vial with a stopper beside the crystal, and it's still imbuing the crystal with that essential oil energy and frequency because they're close to each other. They're in proximity.
I guess someone is, I'm not sure, they're saying something about incoming solar flare. I don't know what the...
No, we're not having a solar flash event. We might get some micro solar flares, but we're not having a massive solar flash event that takes us instantly to 5D where we no longer have to do our spiritual or soul work. That's not how it's going to happen. That event is not happening because our crystalline bodies and our diamond bodies are still energetically being built up within ourselves. And a solar flash event would literally fry the body because we're not 100% crystalline or diamond right now.
Oh, wow. That's good to know. What Soul is asking, do you heat the crystal in massage?
No. If you heat a crystal up, it can explode depending on what its molecular structure is. What you can do, if you want to heat up a crystal, you want to use those. There's certain types of crystals that are rock crystal for rock massage and walking on them. So it has a certain name that I can't think of off the top of my head, but you can heat a rock, but you shouldn't heat your rose quartz or your clear quartz. If you heat that up, it could explode. So be very careful. Don't put it up to the fire. Don't heat it up.
I didn't know that. That's good to know. I've never tried heating it anyway, but
I don't heat any of my crystals up. I don't have the rock types where it could, if you put it under a heating warmer, then you can hot stone massage. There we go. Hot stone massage. Those are those are the ones you can heat up and you do to put on the feet, to put on the legs. It's called the hot stone massage.
Yeah, and I've seen them put it down people's back. Yeah.
Yes, you can do that, but it's a very hardy black type of a rock crystal. It's black. And those are heated up and warm. Well, I shouldn't say heated up. They're warmed. They're warmed to put on your body in a nice temperature setting. And they won't explode. But don't take your rock quartz, heat it up, and put it on the body because it could feel uncomfortable. It could explode if you put it to a hot heat source.
Somebody's asking about setting them outside in the sun. Is that good for them? Or?
Clear quartz you can for like 15, 20 minutes. But anything that's a colored crystal, I don't put it in the sun because it could leach the color out of it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It can just bleach it out. And I'm like, I've never put my crystals out in the sun. What I'll do is maybe put it on the windowsill for a little bit. So you might get a bit of sunlight, but I don't directly put it under the sun.
Sage is asking if you've noticed crystals grow.
Yes, I've tried growing my own crystals with varying degrees of success and sometimes not. You do need salt water. You do need food coloring, organic food coloring if you want it to be a specific color, but without the, disgusting yucky bits. Get organic food coloring. There's recipes. If you really want to grow your crystals, find a recipe. You can grow them yourself. And they grow little crystal lattice matrices. What I do love about seeing different crystal growths, they come in clusters, they come in different shapes, forms, sizes, so they have different growth patterns and they can self-heal themselves and regrow. The lattices inside the crystals can regrow themselves.
I've seen pictures of these huge crystals in caves underneath the ground down deep, and they're huge. And they say that only certain people with good intention or good heart or resonance or vibration, whatever it is, are able to even be in that vicinity, because if you're not of that nature, you won't survive. Is that true?
Yeah, crystal energies can be very intense and powerful. And if you're sensitive to that type of stuff, it can feel like it's overpowering. And then you get used to it with degrees by being around a lot of crystals. I've been a crystal collector since 2008. So I have thousands of crystals and I could just sit with all of them and they don't affect me anymore. They don't overpower me because I sit there and meditate and get used to all the frequencies from all of them. But I keep them in a specific meditation room. So if anybody comes over, they don't feel, oh, wow, there's too much energy from these crystals. I don't expose anybody to crystal energy. But you're right. If somebody who hasn't been around crystals goes in a cavern where the stalagmites or the stalactites grow.
Yeah, those huge ones. Yeah.
Yeah, you could feel overwhelmed by that energy because it's intense. It's good energy, but it can be very intense and it can take time to get used to it. So you want to sit in the cave and meditate gradually, like come back to the cave, try to sit in those areas where the stalactites or stalagmites are. Just start to get used to the frequency so you can take it in and adjust yourself to it, because it can be very powerful and healing.
I bet, because I've had a few people that I know that had these huge, 3-4 feet tall amethysts, that's kind of shaped like that. You put your hand in there or your arm, you can just feel it. You can just feel the energy. It's strong. Yeah.
Well, those big amethyst type crystals, they're healing yourself, they're healing your home, and they're protecting your home.
Well, I wish I could have a nice big one.
They are expensive though. Oh boy,
a
couple of thousand or a couple of hundred. I'm like, I don't have any ones that size, but I have amethyst ones that are like wands, that are wand shaped, and you can hold it in your hand and work with it. I find the little ones just as beautiful as the large ones, and the energy's healing. So I'm like, don't need a huge one to get healed. You can work with the smaller ones. They're just as powerful because they're all energy. They're all healing.
Oh, here's somebody was asking, how do I know if it's a real crystal?
It will have an energy frequency. It will just feel like it's emitting an energy of healing and peace and tranquility. Sometimes if you're buying like clear quartz spheres, it could be glass. It's really about knowing where to buy them from or markets, reputable sellers.
They have a lot of good stores here in Sedona. I have to.
Yeah, Sedona,
They really do.
Arizona is fantastic for buying good crystals that are not fake. I've bought my crystals on Etsy quite a bit because I know the sellers and I've read reviews, what other people have said about the crystals that they've purchased. So I usually look for a good picture of what it looks like, a video. If a seller has pictures and video and what other people have bought, the same type, and how satisfied they are on Etsy. I don't buy crystals from Amazon.
Yeah.
I bought some from eBay of the reputable store owners that I know, but I've usually gone to just the metaphysical shops, and they have a lot of crystals, or crystal shops. You want to know if you're going to be looking for crystals like in physical stores, make sure it's a metaphysical store or a crystal store. Then you're guaranteed to just come into a space that sells crystals, and you can touch them and feel them.
I have a question for you. I have this little bag of, I just started doing this, by the way, and I've got a rose quartz.
Oh, that looks real. Yeah, that has that milky pink.
And in this, oops, I got to put it up higher.
Amethyst?
Amethyst. I'm not sure.
That could be tourmaline, black tourmaline, or that can be even what is it?
I have one
jade. That could be jade.
Okay, Apache tear, is that the same?
Yes, Apache. Yeah, that's Apache tears. That's black. It's pure black.
Now this one I think is another tourmaline or something like that.
Yeah, it's a little hard to see. It could be a tourmaline.
Yeah. But anyway, if someone was to, my question is, okay, I have my little bag of rocks. Some people would think you were kind of nuts, but
no, you're not. Those are natural healers. They're good for protection
and I
soul vibration and balancing.
In my pocket, and I know some people think that's silly, but I don't.
Not at all.
Obviously,
no. It's perfectly good because the ones that you have, they're for healing your body. Amethyst and rose quartz are for healing your body. The black tourmaline, the obsidian, those are good for protection. So the group that you have, you want to add carnelian to that, and that's the nice red one, orange one, because that's for money and manifestation, to bring you luck and money. So put that in.
What's it called?
Carnelian.
Carnelian?
Yes. And just add a clear quartz for bringing in positive vibration. Just a clear quartz.
Oh, okay.
And you have your set. Your little bag of crystals is perfect because it's healing you. It's creating success, money, manifestation, and it's just creating protection as well. So you have a good round of crystals there.
Oh, cool. I just started doing that. This is kind of a new thing. And, but I've always had, I have a couple of, I have little pieces like this. I don't know if you can see that. That's in the shape of a heart. It's kind of.
That's an organite.
Yeah, this is
an orgone. Yeah, I've recently started to work with orgone pyramids and stuff. And I really love those. The more crystals, the better inside and outside.
Yeah. I have one or two, and then I have a piece of quartz, a larger piece of rose quartz, and I think I have a tourmaline black ball there too. And I have a blue a blue piece that I'm not sure exactly what it is. Let me show it to you.
Yeah.
Let me see if I
We'll
can
try
reach it
our
without hitting
best. There's so
myself.
many different blue ones. We'll try our best.
Yeah. I think I may have found it in the book at one time, but I already forgot what I. Whoops. Sorry about that. I hope that didn't hurt your ears. My
No,
microphone
it's
tipped over.
fine. No worries. Not
Okay.
much can hurt
Now
me
let me.
these days.
Here we go.
That could be blue calcite or it could be angelite. So it could be, yeah, that looks like blue calcite or angelite.
I think, yeah, that sounds familiar because I when I looked it up, when you said that, it kind of rang a bell. So I think I tried to look it up and I didn't
Or
remember what it
celestite.
was.
It could be celestite. Celestite. Because that
Celestite?
comes in clusters. If you look up
Okay.
celestite, that's probably celestite.
No, okay. And that some of them, sometimes they come in different colors, different
They
crystals.
do. And I mean, those can be that's either blue calcite or celestite. Angelite
Okay.
is more like in round crystals. I don't think it's angelite. I think it's blue calcite or celestite.
Okay. Have you ever heard of Nevelite?
Yes, I've heard of it, but it's one of the rarer ones. So it's you probably you'd have to custom order that from a crystal store.
There is a man who actually harvests it himself. He calls them Tesla crystals. It's in Nevada. He owns the mine. They've tried to steal it from him a couple of different times. But he hand puts together, Nevelite. You can get them in these little bags and you can put them on different areas of the body and so on. And they actually emit I think it's an infrared frequency, a small one, but
Yeah.
it's, they've also have seen UFOs over the site where it's at, like they're extracting somehow energy from it.
Nice. Well, that's not your typical crystal that you'd easily find in a crystal store. It would have to be custom ordered.
Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right. Dan Golden is a man that has Nevelite out of Nevada,
Fantastic.
and I think it's the only mine in the United States. There's
Wow.
one that might be in France, the only other one that has the purity of this one in particular. It's pretty amazing. Like I have those in under my pillow in my bed.
Yeah, and somebody said metal magic crystals and gems are fantastic. Like hematite has metal in it. So that's really like if you want to work with metal crystals, there are such things. It's hematite. So and it actually looks like metal inclusions in it. So hematite. And also has magnetic properties. This one in the comments, metal healing, metal alchemy is what the comment was. And somebody's talking moldavite, good, bad, what it can be used for. Moldavite is green. Moldavite, it's like it comes from almost like asteroids and stuff and comets, and it crystallizes and it's green. It's very healing and protective against bad energies. But it's very expensive. Like a little piece like that can be from $50 to $100 or more.
Yeah, I think I tried to get some incense that was moldavite type, or it was very expensive. I was kind of surprised. Yeah. Someone is asking if you have. Do you know where you can get a good necklace for EMF? There may be one at gold.gailofgaia.com. They were going to come out one. I don't know if it's out yet.
Etsy. If you want a good one, look at Etsy.
Etsy?
Yeah. I get a lot of jewelry and stuff and natural crystals from Etsy. Anything that's customized, custom made, bracelets, jewelry, Etsy is the place where I love to look because they have honest sellers and it's specific type.
Okay, that's
there we go. Scott Cummings, author, metal magic and crystals and gems. That's why I noticed that. I said hematite is metal crystals.
Thank you, Julia.
Hematite. Yeah.
Okay. I think I got a little piece of something like that looks like it's got metal in it.
Oh, it's good. Metal doesn't hurt the crystals. So it could be like in metal jewelry in settings.
This lady
Gold, copper.
This is fun.
silver, gold, silver, copper. You can put crystals and all of that stuff, and it's complementary.
Yeah, healing frequencies here. So you guys got me putting my crystals on. She's feeling less dizzy already.
Oh, fantastic. That's great to know. Crystals are a joy to discover working with them, what the frequencies, properties are. And for me, they make me smile.
Yeah, I like having them around me, and I like to keep them in my bedroom because that's probably where I spend the most, well, I'm in front of my desk a lot, but then there's a computer there too. But so you get more pure energy from them in the
Yeah.
bedroom. But anyway, uh,
There's this question: can you eat real gold flakes for healing? Um,
what?
I would be careful with that. There's gold ormus, but that's powder. That's not made from crystals. That's different. I would not ingest gold
So
flakes.
monatomic gold.
Monatomic gold, yes, you can do that, but that's different.
But gold flakes, that's a lot bigger.
Yeah, that's a lot big. Well, they could grind them down, but I don't recommend swallowing gold
Yeah, you
flakes.
wouldn't know what you were getting, really. You wouldn't
Yeah,
know what.
that's hard. Oh, there's a comment. I love to get crystals on Etsy. Just make sure you know who the seller is and that they're genuine. Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Yeah.
You can have
Yeah.
crystals in jewelry that's very powerful. Yes, moldavite ring and turquoise to wear in jewelry. Definitely. Yes.
Mhm. What about like I have a shungite necklace that I wear
Oh, very good and
all the
protective. It
time.
protects against negative energies and entities and parasites,
Oh,
like the
good. I
archonic
wear it all the time. I
frequency.
never take it off.
Yeah, like the archonic frequencies. It's very good for protecting you from that. It's somebody saying Ormus gold is good, but it's hard to find the good stuff. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes it is. Yeah,
It is.
definitely agree with that. And quality of it. It depends on the quality too.
So does it matter when you're getting, like these stones and crystals, like if it's smoothed, tumbled or whatever versus the raw state?
I like the smooth and tumbled palm stones because you can hold them in your hands for meditation. When you're
Hmm.
meditating, and that amplifies your energy and psychic ability. And the smooth ones, the tumbled ones, you can use that for massage. You can get them in wands for a headache. Rose quartz is good for headache, and amethyst. The rough ones, they're also good to hold in your hands for meditation. But with the rough ones, you don't want to be washing them because they can be porous and that can dissolve it. I like the rough ones. I just like to place them around my house for good energy and protection. And I put them in glass cabinets or in a shelf where my pets cannot get to them. Cats love crystals. They will just grab it and steal it from you. And they'll go gaga over the energy. The dogs just will take it and you'll never find it because pets want to feel good as well and they love crystals. The
I'll be
rats,
done.
the cats, the dogs, they will have a fantastic time with your crystals. That's speaking from experience.
Well, that's interesting because my dog sleeps in the same bed that I do, and she always sleeps right next to the Nevillite that I have there.
There you go. They're just drawn to the good feel vibes of the crystal healing energy. They'll find it, seek it out. My cat, she'll go meow meow. This carnelian is now mine. It's no longer yours. Get your own. And I'm like, okay, she's adopted it. She's taken it. Good. Go heal with the carnelian.
I like that. Our cats are our spiritual protectors, and our dogs are our physical protectors.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. They know the good feel vibes. They create the vibes with their frequency. Like when cats purr, it's like, it's very healing.
Yeah, it's a high vibration, isn't it? And yeah.
Yeah.
I was reading about that. It's pretty fascinating. Makes me want to get a cat again. But I do have a dog, but
Indeed.
they would get along beautifully. Anyway, um, is there anything else that we might want to bring up?
Yeah,
And
there's a question here. Do you know what the Merkaba is? The pointed little thing somewhere as a necklace? Well, the Merkaba creates a portal like energy. So when it surrounds you, it's very protective, but it's also portal energy. So it helps some people to find portals, apparently.
Well, I've seen like little what look like little Merkaba necklaces.
Yes, those are good, but you want to make sure they're not fake glass. So again, if you're buying them on Etsy or anywhere, you want to be sure it's coming from a reputable seller, because fake glass Merkabas are everywhere. And you can see it's more clear. The fake glass is more clear. The real one is more sparkly, and it has my dog.
That's not the one I meant to put up there, but anyway.
Okay, well, actually, can we bring that back? Because I want to
Sure.
discuss this. I'll finish the
That's
Merkaba
funny.
one.
I'm
The
sorry.
real Merkaba one, it's more sparkly. It has more delineation, so it's not super clear. The clear one is the glass fake ones. So my dog put my sectarian in the toilet. Yes, dogs and cats will grab your crystals. The bigger, the better. They'll grab them. They'll carry it in their mouth or their paws or claws, and they'll dump it somewhere else. That's why I keep my crystals on a higher shelf or in a cabinet, display
Well, that's
cabinet.
fascinating.
That way your most treasured crystals will not end up in the toilet where your dog put it in its mouth, carried it away, and released it into the sacred fish bowl. I call it the sacred fish bowl of creativity and ingenuity.
That's funny. She goes, I blame my husband, but found dog giggling in the toilet.
That's true. Well, the toilet is your most creative place of ingenuity and creation. You can be sitting on the toilet and you're dreaming up all kinds of fantastic things to do or make, or it's like it is the sacred throne of creativity.
Okay, I guess that's some. They have a store up in Alberta too.
They do indeed. They have some interesting mines in Alberta where they produce crystals too. So it's very interesting.
Is it Missouri or Arkansas? One of those states.
Arkansas.
They have a ton of crystals.
Yeah, they have a ton of crystals. You can go up and you can buy an hour or so in mine up in Arkansas. You could just go into the mines and mine for crystals yourself with the tools and stuff that they loan you out. My ferret used to steal my gems. Yep, they do. Ferrets love crystals. They'll grab it in their paws and they'll go off with it. My cat is like a ferret. It's like once she collects it, it's gone. I don't know where it is. It's hers. She has her
especially.
A hoard. She has a hoard of her crystal stuff.
Yeah, who knows where a ferret would put it? It'd be inside the wall someplace.
They'll put it under your bed. They'll put it in your bathroom toiletries. They'll put in any little nook and cranny where they can put their little paws through. They're very creative and smart. Don't mess with a ferret. It knows what it's doing.
Yeah, really. I had one once.
Super smart. Ferrets are like very creative.
Smart. It was just so sad because somebody had put some kind of poison out and
oh no,
my ferret got killed that way.
No, that's horrible. They shouldn't do that. Leave nature alone to nature, really. Arkansas has the Diamond Mine Park. Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Oh, Diamond Mine Park.
Yeah, wow. My puppy likes to play with little rocks he finds outside and chews on them. Leaves my inside crystals alone, fortunately. Yeah. Nice.
That's good.
Yeah, crystals can actually help to connect with universal thought and knowledge processes. Yes, that's true. It's true. I live to dig. I walk the dog, rock hounding. You can go on the beach even and find beautiful crystals. There's the Michigan Lake that produces some of the more natural crystal types that you can go rock hounding. So if you're in Michigan, go to that lake. You'll find a lot of good things, jade and other things.
Oh, wow. Nice. Yeah, somebody was saying that they had a huge jade stone in their garden.
I
saw that earlier.
You'll find the natural ones at that Lake Michigan. Everybody go there. The best rock hounding out there. If you want to dig it up, you want to take it out of the water, that's all you'll find.
Many years ago. I used to live near Lake Michigan.
Oh, and UFO sightings are very, very significant
Lake Erie,
out there. Yeah. Yes, Lake Erie, exactly.
Yeah, I think Michael Lee Hill has quite a few, or did some UFO stuff on in that area,
He
award-winning
did.
type
He
stuff.
did. I like
Yeah,
that man. He has good soul energy.
yeah. By the way, for the listening audience, he will be on again. Probably remember that you're going to be on again on the
Yes.
21st.
Yes.
Okay, and I think if it works out, he might be on the 22nd. So,
Oh,
um,
nice. Very
yeah,
good.
yeah. So, and we will discuss what we will, talk about at that time. And if does anyone else have any other questions? Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up, and I will have Ileana back on the 21st.
Yeah, they're saying sage. That is my plan. You can sage crystals with sage, Palo Santo, and other herbs as well. Just make sure you don't ingest it when you're doing that, because some people could be allergic to it. Just test it out first. Good size
Wow.
diamond. Well, a diamond, they come in many different sizes. Small, big, it depends on the quality. And they come in different colors as well. There's pink diamonds, there's green diamonds, there's white diamonds. Any thoughts on new moon and Gemini? I'm not really that great with astrology. New moon and Gemini. Let me see what that I get psychically. Time of change, time of equalization, time of peace, rest, time of new discoveries, new hope, and new prophecies. That's what I get, new moon and Gemini, just psychically.
Okay. Sarah Bowman says Hot Springs, Arkansas is known for crystal mines. Thank you,
Yeah, that's
Sarah.
true. Yes. Awesome.
So
Oh,
fantastic.
geodes are from Lake Michigan. Yes, yeah, you can get what happens is the rock looks like gray thing with a bit of sparkly crystals. Then when you break it apart with a pickaxe or like with a saw, you get inside the little geodes, the sparkly ones. Indeed, that's true.
Wow. I didn't
Mhm.
know that when I lived closer to Lake Michigan. I was too busy being a nutritionist at the time. So,
Well, that's a
anyway,
good calling and a good profession. It's important to keep the body, temple, physically aligned and balanced. Nutrition is very important these days. It does keep you healthy and it mineralizes, like knowing what foods to eat, what to drink. It can mineralize your body, it can help you to keep your alkaline balance. Nutrition is very important.
alkaline balance. You got it. That's we are so acidic from all the things that we're exposed to. So people need to detox regularly, eat as clean and as healthy as you are capable of. So we can hold more light that way.
Yeah, and somebody asks, do you have any recommendations for good crystal sellers? Um, I haven't bought crystals in a very long time because the ones that I have, I just treasure them and they're always there. So I would say read the reviews and what other people have said about the sellers.
Okay, and I might add, Ileana, that here in Sedona, if you look up crystals in Sedona, Arizona, most of the I haven't been in a bad crystal store yet. I really haven't. And there's several of them, and it appears to me that they carry very high quality crystals.
Well, I know the Crystal Gem Show has a lot of good crystals. It's reputable and they have it in many countries in many places here in Canada and the US. You hear about the Crystal Gem Show, that's reputable. That's what I can get off the top of my head.
Cool. Yeah, thank you, Healing Frequencies. I agree, nutrition is medicine, but trying to convince a doctor of that years ago was almost impossible.
Oh yeah, my doctor always said you need to be a
Yeah, no matter.
certain
Yeah.
pH balance, a certain body chemistry, certain body mass size. It's like doctors usually don't tell you that, but now they do, and they give you a pamphlet brochure about health and nutrition and wellness.
Here, go
Mind,
do it.
yeah, mind and body, health and wellness. I get that pamphlet around so much. They pass it up everywhere. Yes, use pH strips to find out what your alkalinity is and alkaline balance for sure.
Very much so.
Awesomeness. Well, thank you. Yeah, some crystals can treat tetanitis. That's true. Topaz. Yeah, topaz, and some other ones. But look it up in the Crystal Bible. It will tell you. Yes, the gem show in Tucson, very reputable.
Yes, and you can find a lot of information on Ileana's site. Star Travelers website is it's just full of information.
Yeah, messages from a star traveler, indeed. And if you
Yes.
want more information about spirituality, healing stuff, cosmology, galactic stuff, ETs, I do have my own YouTube channel, Awakening Cosmic Reality Show, and I'm also now on Rumble under the same name.
Awesome. Yes, I've seen some of those, and maybe on our next show we can talk about some of that too as well.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you so much for having me on,
thank you.
Gail.
Happy to have you. Honored. Thank you. Really appreciate your knowledge that you brought forward, and I know the listening audience did too. So thank you, and we'll see you again in a couple weeks.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.